Do you consider yourself a casual programmer or a hardcore programmer?
I consider myself a hardcore programmer.
I am a very casual programmer.
So, what we're doing is we're seeing if programmers are discriminated against. Programmers are students who either take programming or do it recreationally after school or basically in their own time. We split the categories into casual programmers and hardcore programmers. And we asked them if they feel discriminated against or if they have ever been discriminated against, and to name a specific situation that they've been in. We suspect that they're being discriminated against, but they're just an unknown part of the school that is being discriminated against.
So we went around and we interviewed them through different surveys and personal interviews. We found out that actually they weren't getting discriminated against that much. Well, they were getting discriminated, but not for programming. So in that sense, the school is a very safe place for programmers, but the school has a lot more to work on. Most of the programmers said they did not have any problem with discrimination of programming, but there was one extreme scenario which a kid was beat up for programming. Now that's a bit ridiculous, but the school obviously needs to focus on that because you should not be bullied on because of something like programming.
They may be a little made fun of, but not really that much. Not any more than other groups of people.
Oh, well, I have been the subject of anti-Semitic bullying, but I haven't been discriminated because I program.
A little bit, yes.
Like someone says an offensive comment to me because I'm Jewish or something. Like all people are anti-Semitic on the campus. And then I guess for programmers it would be like the worst discrimination I've seen toward programmers is calling someone a nerd, but that's not really discrimination.
My personal experience from this is that I was shocked because I thought programmers would be discriminated against, but they weren't. Well, most of them weren't. And it's good to see that programmers were not discriminated against. And we interviewed 8 people, 7 people, but most of them said they weren't, and that's a good thing.
I was very surprised with the results that we found. I expected everyone to have stories of them being discriminated against immensely. I've heard of other people in other cliques being called out for like what they do, called names, hit, etc. But there was only really one experience that we were told about of this, which really shocked me.
At the beginning of the experiment, I thought that programmers would be discriminated against on a wide basis, and I thought that people would say that they were nerds or they were dweebs and stuff, and they did. One of them did say that, but a lot of them said they weren't discriminated because of programming. So maybe if we made the topic a little bit bigger, like say they were being called a nerd or discriminated against for being a nerd, because I know that stereotype exists, and we would have probably got better results. But programmers weren't discriminated against from what I saw on a personal basis.
A few ways programmers can help themselves is by telling an adult or a teacher about this, or they can, if they get confronted, they can just walk away. A few other ways is they can hang with other cliques, so the bully doesn't go after them when you have backup. But if worse comes to worse, they do need to stick out for themselves.
Redwood is a particularly safe environment. in terms of bullying and discrimination, and there's no exception there when it comes to the social group of programmers. If a programmer is being discriminated against, on the rare occasion that will happen, to a rare extreme of course, someone is most likely going to step in and help them. But like we said, it's not going to happen often. There was only minor cases of people being called names, etc. And it was usually out of a joke or related to something other than programming, like I said.